economy for a very long time, taking steps around there, little steps around there. Now, let's look at what has happened to Nigeria's crude oil. Till now, we have no visible refined capacity to the extent that we have to go outside to do. Now, we're not talking about gold. If you read the news properly, you discover that they said mine at artisanal level. Meaning that if we have not even got, we have not developed the capacity. Now, what potential? Now, the deposit, let's look at the deposit of gold that we have in Nigeria. Is it commercial quantity? Number two, do we have the capacity to even refine?
What we have, even in Osun only, in Elisha Assets, it's enough to feed all of us in Nigeria, let alone going to Plateau, going to Nasarawa, going to Zamfara, going everywhere. So what we have in Elisha alone, and of course, that has been mined artisanally before I was born. And it is still there. And that is telling you that we have it in abundance. But Nigerian government is not looking in that direction to try to mine gold for the benefit of all. That is one solid mineral. Forget lithium is even more expensive than gold. If Niger, they are having problem with the France because France alleged to have been mining their lithium illegally. So Nigeria, we have lithium even more than Niger. Nigeria, we are having, and what do they use lithium to do? That's what they use for battery, dry cell battery. In our phone, we use battery. In our laptop, we use battery. In our vehicle, so that even if Nigeria try to mine that today, I bet you we are going to earn more than what we earn from gold. Don't forget, we also have limestone in large deposits. Don't forget, we have iron ore. We have glass. We have almost everything in the world you can think of. So, but Nigeria is not doing anything in that regard. We are only mining crude. But crude is most dangerous of all. I will tell you why they are most dangerous. Crude it pollutes more environment more than any other. If you are mining gold, you are safe. If you are mining lithium, you are safe. The only thing you can have is a earthquake, landslide. But when we mine crude oil, don't forget the flora and fauna are killed. Don't forget people in river Rhine area where we are mining crude oil, they cannot farm. All the agriculture died. So what we need to do is that we need to look a bit from crude oil, and let's go and mine all these for us to earn more money, for us to control our economy, for you and me to have food on our table. It's enough of importing more than what we export. We need to increase our exportation so that we earn more money for Nigerian economy. And for me, for you, for everybody to enjoy. Enough of this hardship. We have a lot of things that are being given to us by God and which we need to go and mine, export, and money. Let's eat so that everybody will be smiling.
Isn't that, something that one should actually think about, considering all these things you said about, in Osun State, we have lithium, we have this. Don't you think some people are actually mining gold, lithium, and other things that we have secretly?
A lot of people have made a lot of money from this, and that's the reason you see that the power that be, to some extent, may not be able to arrest some people because they were too powerful for them. But go everywhere. In Zamfara, we know how the government is talking about illegal mining. In Oyo, look at what they are doing in Oyo. And maybe that's the reason why Ogun is trying to set up an agency to look at the mining holistically. Because at the weekend, don't forget, they're trying to bring about agency that will be inside of stolen mineral in Ogun State. Maybe because of that, to really guide and protect the mining sites. Because everywhere, there are artisanal miners, there are illegal miners that are actually making a whole lot of money from this. And what they are even taking is just little from the ocean.
Well, beautiful. That was exactly what I wanted to bring out, and it's what you pointed it out. We cannot run away from the fact that there are people who are interested in this. They have been on ground for a long time. They have seen it, and they have exploited
it at all.
Okay, so let's
all right. Sector. This is a story that can be found in the Nation newspaper. The federal government has challenged the private sector to engage in a more comprehensive collaboration to curb medical tourism for ailments that could be managed in Nigeria. Can this actually?
Anybody is not healthy, everything is happening. It's as if the world want to come to end. And that's the reason we need to pump money and pump more expertise and bring machines to the health sector. The health sector is it's itself it's sick, and we need to find doctors that will we have policy on ground, but policy implementation has been our problem. How do we go about that? We need to ensure that we try to bring people that qualified on board, and not only qualified, but try to rejuvenate the primary health centers like they are trying to do now. If you look at the Minister of Health, they have earmarked 62 billion naira for the upgrade of all the primary health centers. That is one that is closer to the people, because primary health center is almost everywhere in Nigeria. Almost every local government and wards, political wards, you can find effectively. We need to call on our government, our state, federal, and even the local government to ensure that all these are working perfectly. And if you go a bit to a secondary, secondary institute, what it takes for them to treat cases that are beyond the primary issues. So this they need to work hand in hand. Enough of federal government not working with state government when it comes to health. They need to collaborate. Actually, cholera is affecting us now. It's almost everywhere now. They need to come together, talk to people, what they need to do hygienically, what they need to do in terms of cleanliness, what they need to do in terms of environment sanitation, what they need to do. They need to go out, go to marketplaces, go to motor parks, go to everywhere. Let's nip all this in the bud. This is part of what is causing medical tourism. We need a point to come to terms, local, federal, and state, to ensure that everybody is wealthy, because wealth, they say is wealth.
Now, Rasaq, when we talk about these issues affecting us, we may not know the gravity when we mention words like medical tourism, but when you put figures to them, you understand the gravity. Now, the Minister of State for Health mentioned $1 billion medical tourism yearly. That is too much. Now, in that case, you will expect that the government will also walk its talk when we talk about, fixing the health sector at home. Because if the health sector at home is fixed, and those, because when you talk about medical tourism, who are those who engage in medical tourism? Those who have the means.
Those who have the means and those who don't have the means at times also engage because they don't get what they need in terms of expertise. They have to travel abroad. I doubt
how many. Means, I'm talking about money.
I doubt how many kidney transplants they have done in Nigeria, or liver transplants. And this is not, of course, does not have any. It happens to the rich, the poor, and of course everybody. So they also involve in taking people abroad. You see people, they are contribute for this. Where are they going to do all those operations? They take them abroad.
But so it's contributing. Don't have the expertise.
It's contributing. We have the expertise.
Okay.
We will not have the machines that are involved. We will not have the facilities that are involved. So you go to our hospitals, they are moribund. Large number of them are moribund. I can count, but time will never allow us to permit us to do that. So we need to fix that. It is because people don't have confidence in our healthcare system. That's the reason they travel abroad. It can happen to me or you, anybody, because I will say, oh, what are they doing there? What can they give me? It's right for me to travel abroad. So people don't have confidence and trust in our healthcare system. Government need to bring back trust and confidence. And how? It is by pumping money into it, supervise, get the experts on ground, do the needful, don't waste people's life in the name of all these we have mentioned. A lot of doctors also are committing what we call medical negligence or clinical negligence, for which government need to look at that and try to implement law that are actually guiding that. Because a whole lot of things are happening that because of that fact that people don't try them, people don't sue them, and that's the reason they think they can do whatever they like. So we need to look at all this and plug all these loopholes so that we are going forward.
What are the doctors actually doing that the government has to see?
A lot of things that they are doing. A lot of hospitals have been mentioned in Adeyinka, for instance, that are involved in negligence, which lead to crisis and a lot of things. We all know them. But because they are doctor, they are unquestionable, so to say. We need to ensure that we question them. We need to ensure that we find them, we punish them for medical negligence or clinical negligence, because I'm talking as a lawyer now, so I think we need to look at that. But it's a pity that Nigeria legal system will have law in place, but implementation has been the problem.
No, I think what you're trying to say is that there are times where there are emergencies. Some people are being brought into hospitals, and then the doctors don't attend to them because they say, "Oh, we need this report. You have not paid first. You've not actually dropped the deposits." Is that not what you're trying
Quite
to say?
a number of that are happening. Of course, recently the the first PR was telling them that even the gunshots should be treated immediately, and they will be under, they'll be hiding under that they have not been approved to treat them. So this must be done immediately. A lot of emergencies, a lot of issues, a lot of labor, child labor, and all that they did not give the needed quality medical attention. Negligence is happening there, but because of the fact that they are unquestionable, because of the fact that they have government need to implement the law, the policy, the guide that, so that we record the minimum mortality.
When people come into a country, the first contact they have with that nation will be at the airport. They're coming in fresh, like, foreigners coming to the nation. They meet people at the airport, both officials and non-officials. Now, this is a very interesting story. Everything begins raid of touts, extortionists at airports. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria says it is taking decisive steps towards eliminating touting, extortion, and illicit activities at airports. That was mentioned by the managing director of FAN, Mrs. Olubomi Kuko, and she said it's going to be zero tolerance for such activities at the airport going forward. But another area of concern will be that knowing the history at the airports, of the history of the airports, and knowing Nigerians for who they are, how far can Mrs. Kuko go in achieving this?
Well, if she's determined, if she's trying to do what is right, what is legally binding, I think she will definitely succeed. It's not only the airport. Go to seaport. Look at all those that have shady deals that are happening there. Even if you want to clear your vehicle, our terminals of the rail, you see that recently the NRC has just to put everything online. It ties the sales of tickets even at the terminals. So this is telling you that the way we are, who we are, we need to change our orientation. We need to change our character. That we have been tired. Go to airport, go to seaport, go to rail terminals. Nigeria, who we are, it's actually showing. But we need to drop all this toga and try to be good, try to be patriotic, try to represent.
Pick this call. Hello. Hello.
Bolaji,
Good morning, sir.
Debo, Adeyinka.
Good morning to you, sir.
My brother Rasaq, health sector and
Mineral.
medical tourism. But I'm going to add this. If our government, when I tell our government, our leaders, if they can make an enabling environment in the sector of health, there will be no need for people to be traveling abroad for medical treatment. And how many people can even travel abroad for medical treatment? It's these leaders themselves. So if they make all the hospitals, if not all, at least majority of the hospitals in Nigeria, if they put enough drug there and give the doctors, the medical doctors, very good welfare package, our doctors will remain here. One, then they will be able to treat themselves with whatever way they are having the problems. But when the hospitals are not properly put in place, how has it in Nigeria? That's the problem we're having. And give our doctors very good welfare package so that they will not be going abroad for greener pastures.
Go on, sir.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so
Thank
much
you.
for calling, sir.
0803 439 and 0815 032 0226.
Those are the numbers to call. Okay, while we're still expecting calls, there's a story here. Niger governor urges National Assembly to probe 90 billion naira art subsidy. All right, we have a call. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good
sir.
morning.
I like you to pronounce my name.
All right.
Welcome.
I'm calling from Bolaji. And the issue of health we are talking about, we have heard something of obstruction. And the local government, the state government, and the federal. The federal government, my dear brother, we have an health center here in Olomouci, inside that primary school in Olomouci, that can take care of what's so called about 55 communities. But since 2011, which the what's so called Senator Obasanjo brought it as a concern, is still there, wishing. And for anybody from Mori, because can get the government service, you have to be just you have it for our community or something. It's about 6 or 10 kilometers to any centers. Not like that. So, please, my dear brother, the talk of land, the what's called now, the gold now, the government are talking. The government need to, on that area, we need to do this, what's called, what's called, identity. It's 40. The local government are dropping. And you pull the most of the stock and the rest of the people, the local government is the water. So the people, this of Olomouci, our the chairman of Adeyinka, I continue to lament. Where do you want the great money to work this one? Where do you want the great money to employ people there? Please, I think before the government wants to portray the death sector, you need to look at what this sector, and you are still talking of this sector. Because that is where people will, the all sectors will be function well. That's the just people we get. The determined duty of the health sector
All right.
to prevent. Thank you. That's the solution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling.
I know what Alajino is trying to say.
Mhm.
I said earlier on that there must be a collaboration. What he said is very right. If you go to Ilawo area, for instance, we have abandoned hospital project that's been built by Senator Badara. The same thing happened at the Maoko area that's been done by Olumide Osho. So they need to really hand over this thing to state government if they cannot properly sustain. Because soldier go, soldier come. When they go now, the person that actually comes after them does not look at it as a project. They just abandon it, and nothing will happen to it, and they don't surrender it to state government or state or local government, and that is rotting away. So they need to collaborate to ensure that all these are put into use and things are working perfectly for us. But it's a waste of money when you just go and do something and nobody's runs it.
Well, and you understand why people are so passionate about health. Health is everything. Without health, you can't get any of that thing done. And also in the situation where, hello, good morning.
Hello. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Welcome on board.
I am calling from Shara. I'm particularly concerned about the discussion on the mining of gold and the mineral resources of our country. I compare to the case of what our analyst talked about, that we have so many resources that are around that. We are going to be concentrating on good oil. And in fact, we have been wasting lot of our resources in this country. You can imagine since we started mining good oil, the gas has been there since 1960s. We have also people. And they don't mind it for their own selfish pockets. But let God help us in country. Let God bless Nigeria. I am so for the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Subliminal preferring is what is happening in Nigeria, and people that actually, I know what Elaba is trying to say, that we have the big wig; those are very powerful now behind this illegal mining, and the government needs to dislodge them and ensure that the needful is done to really ensure that everybody, me, you, Sokoto man, Calabar woman, Zamfara man, we all benefit from what it's due for us.
Now, there's a story here. Niger governor urges National Assembly to probe 90 billion naira art subsidy. Niger State Governor Ahmed Babu has called on the National Assembly to prove, this 90 billion naira. And of course, he's actually saying that the performance of the National Art Commission is a failure.
Yes, I want to throw the line of that man, the governor of Niger State, is a failure. If you look at the way dollar and naira was quoted before they paid the hard fare, they're supposed to return some money to them, all those pilgrims. But they did not do that, because don't forget, at the point they were paying higher, but there's a fall which supposed to reflect in what they are paying, but doesn't reflect. So they are a bit shortchanged, and that's of governors. So our own governor, even Prince Ababe, also subsidized. It's because of the fact that NACON is doing a lot of things that is unthinkable, that's unspeakable, and for the governor to have come to say that it's report, so he knows what he's talking about. Look at that holistically and look at what is wrong, because to go to at 8 million, 10 million is just too much, and they need to look at that.
Everyone who called in, we appreciate you. And the listener at home, we also thank you. Ayinla, we always
Thank you for coming.
It's also a pleasure to be here.
Right. I want to say a big thank you this morning to Bukola Latinji, who's been here, and of course to Miriam, the ICT lady, on duty today. From the newsroom, Wahid Ofudobi, thank you very much.
All right, of course, one top of with me, and additional.